That should be my mic. And then let's look at the gameplay sound. Apologies. But, as I was saying, game plan is as Norway, form Denmark. Both of these guys get flat prox. Oh man, it's loud. I'm not feeling 100% today, so it might be a little bit of a shorter stream. But, we are specifically caring about the proximity through maritime flat reduction here. And we are caring about it, where is it? Where's Harvey Dent? I thought they got in the first 2 ages. Do they not? Do we not have eyes? There we go. So there's 2 sources, and then if you move your capital to Indonesia, you get a 3rd source, and if you get the Mandate of Heaven, you get a 4th source. So that is going to be the plan. Yankees fan, thank you for the 8-month membership. Big nice. Pro streamer, thank you so very much. Much appreciated. How are you doing? Are I supposed to win the 100-Year War as England? In 1.8? We're playing also in 1.8 as well. Bob and weave. Aim for the bushes. Get well and eat chicken soup. Yeah, well, I'm not feeling well because of what I did last night, more so than actually being sick. But we might have to put some sunglasses on for this one. But trying to remember kind of what's going on. We also, this is 1.8. So let's see what our centralization trend influence is. Looks like the UI is a little bit updated. But how much of this is getting pushed by... Okay, so we have 0.15 on cabinet, and then 0.07 from our subjects. So we have to annex subjects a little bit. French cap too strong at 1.8. Norway to Denmark, excuse me. What? We're going to... Well, we said the premise just a few seconds ago, but the idea is, I guess people are still kind of coming in. We get proximity cost reduction here, then we eliminate Denmark, then we form Denmark, and we get proximity cost reduction here. And then if your capital's in Indonesia, yeah, you can't see it, so I don't know why I showed it, but you also get a Tech 4 flat naval proximity cost reduction, and you also get one from the, what is it, Mandate of Heaven. So 4 sources. Someone touched grass a little bit, yeah. But let's maybe take a little bit of a gander. What are we doing? Increase naval infrastructure. Okay, we definitely want to pass that to get the naval. Naval's also going to give us a reduction of 1. How do you feel about this new tech tree, though? I think I like it, except how snappy it is. Oh no, wait. No, I'm into it. Alright, cool. Cool. Also these icons, though. Oh, if we can download these icons, it's actually so much easier to do a tier list. Except I think they reuse a ton of the icons. Yeah, these are the same, like, icons, so... You can't. We were checking something. What were we checking? Passing Parliament. We're doing fine with that. Plutocratic movement. Did we want to go plutocratic? Usually it's kind of a pain. Probably not. We don't need this yet. Although we stopped getting the trend from conciliatory. They changed that. Yeah, now we're trending towards belligerent. Is there a way we could stop that? I don't think we want to trend towards it. I do believe they have one. Yeah, so we could do reduce levy obligations. I don't think we want to do that just yet. We'll do a religious diplomats. But that... When you're at war, you also get trend towards it. We'll have to try and figure that out. Royal decree is helping for now. I just don't know if we try and force... I mean, we're so forced already towards centralization, we probably just stick with it. Getting a ton of flat reduction, though, is really nice. Alright, I think we can peel off. I think our plan was to change who we had in charge here. Or change our succession so that we would brick this so that we could just fight them. Favorite son maybe is the one we want to do. Why does every game feel the same? Really? Do you think every game feels the same? I feel like it doesn't. It's like we are getting some of the jewelry started there. Chancery is going to be nice. We have all the gov buildings coming in. Get our little bit of development. I mean, yeah, wow. Really? That's it? What's going on here? I mean, this makes decent money. This can't even play up. Just such a small market. This is the issue. We just have no pops. Yeah, I remember we were talking about maybe going north so we could slave raid. Now we would have to do it the cheesy way. Basically. As Milan, what royal decrees would you advise? As Milan, what royal decrees would you advise? You mean cabinet actions? Your trade video, could you do a section about talking about when to take over a new market? As Korea, I just conquered Shenyang and everything feels on fire. You kind of always want to take over a market if you can. The market even when on fire is decent. Or tends to be. Are we playing for stab? Why are we paying for stab here? What was the idea? It's the idea that it's just cheap? Our slider's cheap? Do we have discount on the sliders? I don't know why we're paying for stab here. It feels really cheap. Paying for Diplo because we wanted the diplomats, which we can get rid of later. Do you have, good sir? I think we subjugated the Livonian order. Yeah. And then these guys are subjects, I think, too. It's all coming back to me, chat. No, they are not. We just subjugated the Livonian order. Do we move to annex them relatively early? Because we get no control there until we get banking. We have 400k pops, so what we could do is we could conquer something with banking. If I recall correctly, we were having difficulty pulling... we wanted to pull an institution from Nuremberg, because I do think banking did appear in Nuremberg. We are having difficulty making trade happen in Oslo. Oh, we can also take a look at some of this, because we're expecting trade to be making more money as well than it was before, but maintenance to be expensive. it's just full gravy now. So this is kind of my first time taking a look at 1.8 actually in game. So this is not increasing the size of our economic base. Yeah, our expenses are only 25% of our income is kind of nice. But not making a ton through trade. And there is a bit of an issue in that Nuremberg. We want to import stuff from them, but we can't. I don't think Praha has the institutions. Maybe they do. I guess they have banking. Alright, we're cool. We're chilling. How do you make money with trade? Like, how does it work, or what's the best way to go about it? You lean really heavily into production no matter what you're doing. Like, just making all your money from trade is a little bit tough. But a big part of it is controlling markets, and then you get the most valuable trades within that market. So we control this Oslo trade, or this Oslo market. We have the most trade advantage. And so that means outgoing goods, in our case the silver, we get to control. So Denmark does have trade capacity, not a lot, but they don't get to control the trade. So they're making like half a ducat per trade cap, and we're making a third of a ducat per trade cap. A little bit rough considering the changes, but the changes are really just more transparent. Did they fix levies? I'm not sure. I think someone was saying levies were busted. Can you destroy markets? You can. We could destroy this market. We wouldn't. You come over here, you right-click, and you go destroy market. We need some things satisfied, though. Without some maintenance mods, trade doesn't generate much money on its own as all. I mean, it's kind of similar to how it was before. Just before, what was happening is it was increasing the size of your economic base, and then it was increasing like the cost of this stuff. This tooltip's now just wrong. And now it's not. And so maybe we can turn the volume up a little bit. So this costs 12% of our economic base, and so what trades were doing before is they were sometimes adding like 4 or 5 times as much to the economic base as they were getting, in terms of what you were getting in terms of trade income. So you were increasing your expenses by more than you were taking in, and so it looked better than it actually was. I just have a headache, but I think that you guys get the sound based on like what I have it as. I was playing as business in Ethiopia. Burgers had a ton of money, built roads everywhere in the 4th Age. Now I'm playing as Poland. They have 0 money. They never built anything. Are you taxing them more? Poland has content where they get more max tax, and if you max tax the bejesus out of them, then they won't have any money, which is super okay because you just build the things. But where is it? Where is Harvey Dent? Max tax for burgers. I thought they had another source of this. Maybe not. What to do when you conquer a new market? Not should you. What should you do? Well, I think that it is tempting to just set up the new market the same way you set up your capital market, but fundamentally, your capital market's way more important because you have way more control there. But generally speaking, the thing I would do is I would diagnose lumber and say, A, is the price of lumber collapsed? This is probably the most important. And then, because you want to get the RGOs going, and then masonry, and then glass, and tools. Probably in that order of importance, because glass goes into the trade centers, this type of thing. And that would be, my first approach would be to try and get the input prices good, establish somehow, or also priority is if you control the market center, making sure you get enough trade advantage that you control the node, or not node, but that you control the market, you control the outgoing goods. And then if you're relatively profitable per trade, then building trade centers is usually pretty good. Building out RGOs. If you have a little bit, it's hard to have a lot of RGOs. It's mainly about, actually, allow me to rephrase that. If you just take just the market center and you don't have any locations there, it's mainly just about acquiring the trade advantage, and then you build out a little bit of trade there, and that's your value. If you have a lot of locations there, it's a little bit different, and you want to collapse the prices, and you check the prices and do the things. It's getting turned into a video? No. If I had an editor, maybe I would try and do that type of thing. 1.0 paid 8 now has fixed levies, you say? Okay. Ooh, interesting. We see the peasants coming in. Yeah, there's just... We don't have a lot of buy orders for stuff, so... So the prices are not super good. We're gonna slowly start pushing down the price of that. But actually, now that it's harder to go underwater on trades, it's going to be a lot more profitable to try and intentionally export stuff. When you export, though, you only create half the buy orders. So you don't push the price up as much as you ought to. Which is good and bad. It's good because you can trade more. It's bad because it doesn't help your tax base as much. Excuse me. I think even if we're break even on a trade, it wouldn't be terrible. Because it would add... effective for the price. If we do one, we would get half a unit worth of sell orders. I think we'd rather figure out the fruit, though. I hear they sell it by the foot. Well, which one will actually send us the most goods if we're going to use our trade cap here? And lose money in London. Wonder what circumstances you might want to actively trade to lose money. So, I think that we're going to be moving to a point where we're mainly going to be RGO based here, right? Doesn't matter if we lose trade advantage in the market, we have a firm grip. Expanding out the wool is probably what we want to do. It will always be profitable, and as we expand out the wool, we will be able to build more fine cloth. It just feels kind of bad in the abstract. May I ask you an esoteric question? Sure. How important is characters in this game? Like, should I be making sure all your noble characters are married? Well, they're gonna... I think they want to bop that. I don't think that they're a fan of that play pattern. I think it's not WOD. I think Johan had a comment on the forum to this effect. Maybe I'm imagining things. But if that is the case, I wouldn't be too stressed about it. I think that it's good, but characters, to some extent, the making sure you have a bunch of characters isn't... I think there are bigger leaks. It's just that one's kind of a straightforward leak, I guess. Like, that one's kind of easy to understand what's going wrong. Yeah, I guess you can do it if you want. I think it gets overemphasized, the importance of marrying all your characters. Marry crown power characters to have a good pick of cabinet. Yeah, for cabinet army. Yeah, this is true. The females you marry to like a local noble without a house and they get to keep their house or something like this. Is it better to manual trade? I haven't... With the new way trade works... it's probably less important than it was before. We're kind of keeping our eye on this. Our most valuable trades are the jewelry. Fundamentally, a lot of things about trade are going to change. Jewelry, the thing about jewelry is it requires very little capacity to move. If you take a look and you hover the good, it's going to require half capacity to move of more normal trade goods. Is Norway stronger than Sweden? Norway has better... Norway's better for what we're trying to do. Which is we're trying to stack flat proximity cost reduction. I think Sweden's better, though. Maybe we build jewelry here, too. We could also... Oh God, we just have such little pops. I was gonna say we could also upgrade another thing to a city. That is benefiting from the silver. The hills forest. It's either we would be either doing a hills forest or building over wool. I kind of don't like either of those. Maybe the wool is nice to build over at some point, but I don't think we keep our capital here for forever. So, or we definitely don't if we're moving into Indonesia. So, what RGOs are best for us to build? Feels like our entire economy is just actually on that silver pile. Feels bad, man. Yeah. Or mercenary captives that are your court, they don't seem to be attached to any merc companies, so they're RNG characters. They're burger characters generally, right? They might be RNG. I don't know exactly how they appear. Take a super long trade to Geneva or Venice and H2 to spread banking. Yeah. That is true in terms of active trading. That is the major reason to actively trade. Planning on making a video a little bit later today, like beginner mistakes, and one of them we're going to mention is not trading for institutions. It's like, it's a very light switch kind of gameplay pattern. Slayer 92, do you know how to boost the liturgical language? Let's see if I can remember my hotkey. So, if you hover language power, you'll get a bunch of context menu, or context going on here. Liturgical language power is just language power of your liturgical language. So it's just the language power of the language that happens to be your liturgical language. For us, it's Latin. And all these four things will give a source of power, which improves your liturgical language. The issue with, like, Latin is it's hard to boost it through some of these ways. So, political power of primary culture pops scaled by the country rank where the court language gives 1. And so you see French is getting a lot of power. So if you made French your liturgical language, which you can if you're Protestant, right, it would be getting a lot of power from the political power of primary culture pops. And this is just having a lot of pops that are of upgraded variety, nobles, this type of thing. And that's why France is popping off here. Each trade capacity from countries where the common language gives 1. So the common language in France is French. So French is getting a lot of power from this. And then cultural influence of these countries, which I suppose is actually one of the uses of cultural influence once you get past once you pass the threshold of getting 50% discounts. And then there's also trade advantage from markets using the language. So a lot of it, you notice trade capacity and trade advantage is going to be giving this. This isn't the full story. Oh wait, for every 1,000 clerics, it will also... for every 1,000 clerics, pops of the primary religion where it is the liturgical language gives 20. And so this is where, like, Latin, for example, gets a lot of its power. But the reason Japanese tends to be the most powerful is because Japan, Nippon, uses the same liturgical language as it uses for, like, its primary culture, for its what is court language. So Japanese is its court language. So France is getting a bunch from French, but Japan gets that from Japanese. It also gets that from clerics. It is primary religion. It also is the common language, not just the court language, but the common language. So you get it from the trade capacity, this type of stuff, and it also gets it from the cultural influence. So you get it from kind of everything. And our liturgical language is up at 73%. Will it tell us why? Yeah. But it will tell us the sources. No merchants of countries where it's the common language. Not the common language anywhere. No markets using it as language. No cultures using it as language. We're just getting it from the Papal States, where it's the court language. Hungary. And then that's kind of it. And then just from having a bunch of clerics. So, interestingly, when you upgrade all the scriptoriums to the next tier, you actually generally... this happens prolifically through... this tends to really crush Latin more than other religions. Or this is kind of a speed bump for Latin, because Arabic is getting a lot of its sources because it is the language of Egypt. So from clerics, it's getting like 650. It's getting quite a bit from Delhi. But court language here, you could see that it's getting quite a bit from Yemen, Morocco, Tunis. I thought it was the court language in Egypt. But it's also the common language in Egypt getting a little bit there. And as Egypt adds trade and this type of stuff, it'll get better. And then it's also, since it's the common language in some of these areas, you're going to be getting it from a bunch of different sources. So upgrading your guys' scriptoriums doesn't hurt as bad. Speaking of scriptoriums, we probably need to do that. We'll just max level it. Would North Sea Empire help? How do we get to see the North Sea Empire tag? I don't know if the North Sea Empire has a flat proximity cost reduction tag. I didn't see their bonuses. Yeah. Or do we not have the right game rule? Forget how we see the North Sea Empire. Is their capital just in the wrong location? Could be that. My research was nerfed after forming Roman Empire because it made Latin the new core language, which is weakened your language for base for the liturgical language. That's interesting. Makes sense. You could also just change your core language super easy though. Greek ends up being the same way it does run when you get rolling with the liturgical plus common plus market, or common plus market plus all being united. Yeah. Just AI Japan tends to be able to do decently. Is here. We're not on the dashboard for Twitch. Sorry, I'm learning the game. No, you're good, you're good. A lot of other people have questions. People like questions. Bardo Manifesto, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I mean, maybe that's bad because they're our subject, but... Okay, we can also change values here a little bit. I think we want to push communalism, to be honest. God, it's so loud. We probably have most of the available sources of communalism, but we're just kind of checking. Maybe we should just YOLO decentralization here, though. We don't need to. Well, we don't need to, and we already have centralization quite a bit. So we're probably not supposed to. Maybe I just overreacted, and centralization's still okay. You just have to. You just have to concede. You run fewer subjects or something like this. NSE has no unique content? Alright. I'm not fully sure, but I've seen no cap to amount of characters in court. I'm sure there's some sort of thing that caps it. Didn't know you were supposed to switch from Oghuz to Arabic language as the Ottomans. Yeah, probably for... Almost certainly. That way, Arabic can be the lead liturgical language generally. I've read that playing as Japan sucks. Yes, don't do it. How to play as Japan is to not. How to employ slaves as Europeans? It's complicated. See, you can't just get slaves. I think the Europeans have a special requirement where you used to be able to have heretics enslaved, but now you can't. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I know that they were annoyed with being able to pull Orthodox slaves from, like, Ottoman market. And so now you have to get them from Africa. The issue is that you build the slave center building, and they just close it. So you have to make the slave center building somehow profitable. For them to not close it, or just manually reopen it repeatedly, but it's a little bit tedious. Yeah, where be the slaves? I'm not in the right section. No, yeah, it's in here. Just kidding. The slave center building, the issue is the PM here is just not that profitable. But what you do is you build a bunch of these in West Africa. And the West Africans will enslave people who are not heretical to you, like Orthodox people or this type of stuff, and these are the slaves that you can get, and you import them to the New World. Slaves cannot work with RGOs for most Christian nations, though. They can only work in plantations, so they're not very useful for you. Take a look at Catholicism. I kind of think that it should say specifically you can't use slaves, but it doesn't. But for like every other religion, where can we get to? You see slaves working with raw materials, yes. And so you could use the slaves. Specifically, colonial nations have slaves working with raw materials, and so you want to import them to the New World, but they have to be slaves that aren't Orthodox or Christian, which is what you get from like these markets, Damascus and Constantinople and Alexandria. And so instead you have to get them from West Africa. You got to use the slave center building. It's not going to be profitable, so you have to try and make it profitable by either exporting to them the input goods or building in that market directly the input goods. You import slaves to your market, but they're not working the RGO. Yep. Catholic sucks. You don't have a thing that says can work in RGOs. Required. Otherwise, they can only work in slave building specifically. I think it should... Yeah, I left feedback for this very specific thing because I think it's unclear. But, yeah, you try and get these to your colonies. When you conquer a location, which is a market center, how strong is your trade influence, trade advantage becomes in that market? How can I check that? Well, you open the markets map mode and you just hover it, and it will tell you how big your trade advantage is. You took Geneva as Florence. Yeah, so you just hover the Geneva market, and you look. Probably need to wait a month. Sometimes funny business, you need to reload something like this, but... Alright, we have plenty of crown power. Right now, the idea is we see this free source of legitimacy, so we're gonna ask ourselves, do we want to spend legitimacy anymore? No leader on Sunday. It's tempting to just go full decentralization. I think we're actually, like, kind of okay to go centralization right now, though. I might be underrating control over monetary policy, but I just think it's kind of bad. We'd be more than happy to get some production efficiency. Some of our stuff is barely profitable. Take a look at our satisfaction, always an important thing to check, because it makes guys less satisfied. Ooh, did we actually mess up? No, we still have a trend towards trad economy. I think we maybe want to stay trad economy for now. I think that market attraction actually would be kind of nice here. Let's do this. So, we get to keep the 100 legitimacy, effectively. It's a big deal? Yeah. Thank you for the EU5 office hours, Professor Generalist. You're welcome, you're welcome. I do try and stream on Wednesdays. Or, I mean, Saturdays. I'm struggling a little bit here, though. Is there a benefit to manually removing estate buildings? If I recall correctly, it makes Pops upset to the extent that it's kind of not worth. Where do we go to the location? Normally you can often double click Nadaros and Bergen. Yeah, so just... I think we don't have enough control to delete it, yeah. Usually it upsets them. I don't do it too much, but I haven't really thought... This is not a level of micro I really, like, want to be doing, to be honest. You can search estate buildings? Yeah, brother. You've been looking by hand? Womp womp. It's right here. Womp womp. You can also look foreign buildings. Oof. I'm wondering where we're making our money here. I mean, we could do something that's like wood and livestock, but honestly we could do wood stuff everywhere, so it doesn't matter too much. We should have watched to see what we pulled in, or if we pulled anything in. We got amber in the... Actually, this amber is probably new. I think we could kill our Diplociter. Because we built up the Royal Gardens. Excuse me. Pretty sure it's Naval. Allergies, man. Let's mute. I forget what literacy of laborers does. RGO size, yeah. RGO size and prod efficiency are nice. You just don't get a lot of it. So we're getting trad and spiritualist there. I don't think that's something we care about. We already have spiritualist trend. I guess we would kill our innovative trend. I don't think it's that big a deal. Getting 100 innovative is kind of easy. Well, let's do it. What did we do? What killed our stab so hard? I feel so confused. What did we do? Oh, this... I freaking hate this UI change. God damn it. We're gonna reload. Sorry, chat. It, like, offers you to change your law. Like, just fucking normal law change instead of, like, assigning one. And it costs fucking 100 stab or whatever. God damn it, dude. The UI, I suppose it's maybe okay, but the UI didn't used to do it like that. The UI used to only do that, or you used to always be able to do it for free. Build settlements. Settlements is great. Hey Svanka, how's it going? Our trade company building's bugs? Yeah, I think there's a problem. I think it's not all as well in the state of Denmark, but we're in Norway, so we don't care. Avarola, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Yeah. So where's the... We're gonna get the pop-up, and then we're just gonna be like, okay, we're not going to... Oh, we get lucky. An unlikely inheritor. Usurp it for ourselves. Plus 10. Centralization, let's go. So we get the city rights one. So this is laws not codified, and the other tooltip's like a different one. We could choose unlimited export. Minting's kind of a good source of income, though. I think there's maybe a strategy that revolves around export ban, but we're just gonna do regulated export, I think. I need to revisit this, how good this might be. Is it worth building irrigation for the pop capacity? Strictly for the pop capacity? Sometimes, but it's really marginal. What's the easiest way to become a great power as a kingdom without going up to empire? You get a ton of GP points from trade capacity. Unless they change that scaling, which I think they should, but as it stands, you just get, like, gobs and gobs and gobs, so just, like, building unlimited trade cap or whatever. The new law available thing, it's gotten me so bad. Yeah, I hate that so much. I think that's just, like, really bad UI change or pop-up change or whatever it is. It says it's a new law. I think it's just a bug, but it, like... Bro, can you imagine playing on Iron Man and just accidentally eating 100 stab hit and just being like, well, you know, I get to sleep well at night because I'm playing Iron Man. I bet you sleep well at night, though. Was land combat a lot faster in earlier versions? Yeah, it happened, like, instantly. Like, fucking, like, under a day, often. Which made initiative real good. But even then, initiative has gotten nerfed multiple times. So you'll see, like, in some older videos where I'm like, bro, initiative's insane. Believe me, it was insane. Now it's not, but... Okay. Pop growth, though. We haven't taken a look at the new prosperity, have we? So how are we doing here? Base value. Okay, the base value trend is way higher. Free subject is going to be Norwegian government. What is this modifier? That's a new one. What is it from? That's not an advance we have. Do we just have some random advance that gives us a ton of this? I feel like that's probably just settled. I feel like that's just settled. Being a settled country or something. I mean, we don't see a modifier on monarchy. But, okay, what's happening here? They're losing it. They're decaying hard. They're getting Swedish government 0.15 or 0.25. Castile, we know, has... They're decaying down now. They're getting less from the Castilian government. English government 0.25. This must be legitimacy, huh? But it's not telling us that in the tooltips. Education law cost, yeah, stab. Being a GP is very expensive. It is. It's not worth, except for you can threaten war. I think is the biggest one. What do you think of bouillon famine situation? It's probably good for a simulation. Probably a little bit annoying from a gameplay perspective. I suppose we want to get tribes here, so we can get the other one of these. Take a look at our jewelry. This is actually probably decently profitable. We were thinking of expanding this. God, it's only 0.64. Pain. But now it's using the amber that had appeared there in our market. I think we're exporting a little bit of this, right? Let's just reset that. Any things that we think get really profitable? God, you know it's bad when the tar kiln is in the top too. Jesus. Oh, I hate this bug where it shows a bunch of numbers for other buildings. Just a liar. Alright, yeah. I think we want to do it in a place that has lumber, obviously, because it uses lumber as an input. It's also rural and also close to the market center. And is a place we're going to keep rural. So I'm thinking it's the lumber here or the lumber here, something like this. I guess we could build the Distillers Guild too. Upgrade this. It's probably going to collapse the price. And then we wanted to kill our Diplo slider. Or we did, but then we had to reload. I misclicked on Iron Man. Not fun, but there's always Alt F4. And redoing all the micro you did in the last 6 months. Yeah, there is. I don't know. If, yeah. I think you have settlements built if you haven't built, if I saw correctly. Yeah, I've maxed out all the settlements. Is Sweeney your partner? I think they are. It's been swapping back and forth. Yeah. They are junior right now. So Norway, you'll have a lot of unbuilt settlements. Yes. Will. I'm pretty sure we built them all, though. Just kidding. I thought we had. Alright. That's what we'll be doing for a while. Why throw shade on my tar kilns? Because they use so much wood. They're awful. But they're okay for us because we have so much wood in this market. Oh, do you think we don't want to take the legitimacy hit? Let's actually just do 2 levels, because, yeah, we are producing the wood. Do we want to give out a priv? A priv, bruh? Say a little bit of money. What's your take on religion? Catholic sucks. Drop mic. Is there any reason to stay Catholic during the Reformation? So Catholic, as much as I say Catholic sucks, you do have some stuff that's like kind of okay. I hate how many times you have to go through the tooltips here. To be fair, you could get almost as much tolerance of heathens if you had 100% uptime on this as you would if you just flipped Sunni. But one of these gives like 20% antagonism reduction. The estate satisfaction equilibrium is kind of okay, but like... yeah, that's kind of a big chunk of antagonism reduction. It's like one of the better things, but... Catholic just really sucks. Can we show how much money is... I think they don't really have it in the UI that well. No, they don't. I don't think it matters too much. But we're just gonna show something that I think people just aren't aware of as well with Catholic. I mean, Catholic's like real bad, but like, we have to swap to the Papal States to show it, which is why no one, I think, or why I think people just generally are unaware that this is a thing. Catholic okay if you're expanding in Catholic lands? I mean, it also breaks your ability to colonize, too, like, in a kind of annoying way. Unless they disambiguated this, did they really? Or you can't see where it's coming from anymore? Why can't you see where it's coming from anymore? Oh, they used to give you a breakdown. Why would they not do that anymore? They moved it from Diplo. I think the payment used to be part of the Diplo thing, and they made it its own section, but now it doesn't give you the breakdown, so we can't show it. But what we were going to show is that every single estate pays into it. That is from a Catholic nation. So when we were going to show it, we were going to show France and Bohemia. Their like burgher estate would probably be the biggest contributor. But now it's just completely opaque. I have no idea how to show it to you guys. I guess you'll just have to take my word for it. Tried a few games in Norway, and far best strategy has been building all around Oslo until you get maritime. Yes, that is kind of it. I thought we expanded out all the settlements, but we were mistaken. You get bonus relations from most of Europe for a big Catholic. This is also true, this is fair. That is a source of kind of being mildly annoyed, I guess. What's stalled? winter. Alright, cool. I don't really care about that. That's good. What do we want here? Navy morale, Navy range, colonial range, trade range. Trade range? The call of our forefathers. I got bad news for you, chat. If you have forefathers, your mother might have been up to something. It's under banking, unfortunately. We want the range to get the stuff. So we could go for Mediterranean galley and actually start getting some stuff. Kind of don't hate prosperity recovery. It just wouldn't be useful right now. Oh, we went mill ideas? What were we thinking? I guess we were thinking we would be cool this game. I guess we're kind of okay with Med Galley. We know that we're getting it eventually. Do we have RGO? Max level? I think we've already picked it up. Alright, fair. And the extra pops will create more demand for goods, which will make all of our industries more profitable. No. Hey Rufsia, how's it going? It has a breakdown in the IO screen under a tithe. Oh, okay. But yeah, Bohemian Commoners, this makes sense. Bohemia has a bunch of rural stuff that's really, really profitable. I mean, I don't think this is inconsequential. Because Boho is going to be paying, like, a total of 5 out from their estates. I guess it's not the biggest deal, but I think it's something that people are less aware of. Bo's probably paying less than a ducat. No. Wait, what? No. No. Actually. We just got claimed by the winter. We had a levy, a naval levy, so that we could have our king in charge of it. How much I'd be valuing prod efficiency as a value, compared to like 10% burgers max tax? A lot of these things are multiplicatively effective with each other, so it's hard to just say that one is worth this and the other is worth that. But we could talk through it a little bit. So, first of all, tax efficiency, the more of it you have, like, functionally, the less it's going to give you relative to where you were before. So if you already have plus 100% tax efficiency, right, getting an additional plus 10% doesn't increase your tax that you're taking by 10%, increases it by 5, but it's always free gravy, so that's good. Production efficiency is also free gravy, but the way that it works is we have income on the building, and we have expenses on the building. The expenses are 3.35, and the income is 3.79. And what production efficiency does is it just increases output, doesn't increase input. And so let's assume we have 0 production efficiency right now. We don't, but let's assume it. And we got 10%. We would then, instead, our income would go from 3.79 to 4. What is it, 1.6 or something? Let's call it. It would go up by 3.7. Currently what we're making, or sorry, 0.37. Currently what we're making is 0.38. So if we had got 10% production efficiency on top of this, assuming we don't have any production efficiency, which we do, but just making the math simpler, we would actually be doubling the profitability of this building, right? So that means that this building, in terms of its contribution to the tax base, would be doubling it. Now, if you do this for enough buildings, or a lot of buildings, this is really, really strong, and it's really, really good when what you're doing is really marginal, because if your inputs are only 10% of the cost of your outputs, getting 10% production efficiency only increases your income by like 11%, right? But if it's 90%, your inputs are 90% of your cost, it doubles how much money you're making. So it can be really, really strong, and it's like context driven. But if you have a bunch of production efficiency already, getting a little bit more, it becomes like less valuable. And same with max tax, and same with tax efficiency. And so, but they're all working together, and so you want all of it. Have you formed Denmark as Norway before? No, but you can do it. When I tried taking the relevant land and culture converting with console commands, the option isn't available. Did you take Denmark off the map? If you go Norway, Denmark, Indonesia, Roman Empire, railroads, can you get 100% proximity everywhere? Probably not. There's some islands that have, like, no connection. I'm also trying to think, like, what the connection between, like, Alaska and Russia looks like. How many naval locations you have to go through. You can get a really high amount, though. How you go for maritime presence? Beeline barks? Yeah. You can get a little bit from other stuff as well. I think we're going to build other stuff right here, actually. Oh, man. Because we want to put our leader in charge so that we can get more crown power. Like 3% crown power. How much are our trades making? Rough. No, but this is... I mean, this is probably... We're probably making more than before, it just looks like less. Because it's not increasing the economic base. Can we get more iron up in this bizzle? It's not going to make us much money, but it's going to make our tools more profitable. That's probably not... Probably just supposed to... do some of that. Do you think, for example, unlocking tier 3 units should unlock tier 2 from earlier treaties? Same for prod buildings? No. I don't think it's helpful to unlock the tier 2s from previous age. Unless you're talking about in different sections, which I don't think it should do. Really Scania making a market? Bro, no. No. Our demand is going. It's leaving us. Are there any laws we're going to want to change as a consequence of the patch? You do want to go itinerant court eventually, but not right now. Look like it. So maybe we're thinking CBs? We do have to destroy Denmark. We have a CB on Sweden, but we cannot deck on them because they are... That's a bug. Is it a bug? No, actually it's probably not. Is that someone else's? Is that our subject's CB? Surely it's not ours. Is Sweden colonizing here? Looks like they might be. Oh, that's why we wanted to be able to swap this so we could get off the same one that Sweden has. Cognatic Primogeniture, so we could attack them. And we wanted to maybe go favorite son succession. Because I think long term that's better. I don't know if this means we have 0 eligible heirs though. Maybe let's check that. I don't know how this works. We can explore a little bit. That'll be okay. Unless we're dead forever. Do we just not have any choices? Yeah, we just don't have any choices. Which, to be fair, maybe we don't mind, because if our line ends with that, we're kind of okay with that. Do we just want to ship it? Or we're okay with this? Probably. Rotheril, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Indonesia are planning to colonize or just migrate there? Planning on moving the capital there, because then we can get additional flat naval proximity reduction. So we get some from Norway, some from Denmark, some from having the capital there, and some from claiming the mandate of heaven. Oh, this is gonna be nice. Do we want this as a town? It's a fish. This will be nice. Yeah, nope, that's perfect for us. Promote urbanization, so we want to pass this. Don't mind aristocratic support. Do kind of mind going over under 50 legitimacy, but let's yellow it. And then... Are we serfdom right now? No, but... Well, actually, more free subjects is actually kind of nicer now. Because you actually care about prosperity. We just haven't pushed it yet, but... Do we care about pushing humanist right now? We care about peaking. We really want to peak... to see if we can get naval. These guys are a little bit upset. Elaborate court life. Did that give individualism before? I'm just losing my mind, I think. Let's do this. I guess we don't want fewer levies yet, because that is most of our army. So I guess this is it. Is Norse slavery a useful thing? Getting pops is a useful thing, yeah. We would have to change the game rule, though, to be able to do it at this point. You can do it, like, in theory, but... We kind of talked about wanting to do it, and people were interested in it, but we need to change the dynamic rules to present in country, Which, to be fair, doesn't break Iron Man. Any religion breaks Iron Man. But if we do this, I think we still have a little bit present. Oop. What are we pushing right now? Communalism. We already got 75 towards it. I guess free subjects is maybe the thing to push. We're already 25 towards it, so we can't push it too much more. I was gonna do something, but I blanked. Not like this. We could also push innovative. Actually, I think I like that better. Alright, so we also want to pass promote urbanization because it's giving us 200 ducats worth of stuff. So I think that's it for us. Oh, the slave rate, that's right. How could I forget? Do we really convert them all by now? Womp womp. Really? We could change the game rule if we want, but... There is a way to fairly do it, though. Maybe we could do a short little video on that. We can't look at it unless we change the game rules. That's kind of... I guess that makes sense, but... What change do you want added in the game, or do you have any ideas how this could get better? I really want automated construction. So we've decided, for example, that we want to build Jewelers Guilds here. I want to be able to set it to auto-expand, so that as long as the inputs are cheap, there's burgers available, this type of stuff. There's several conditions that allow or facilitate auto-expand, that we could take the Jewelers Guild and put it on auto-expand, and it'll automatically upgrade. As well when we get the new tier of building. As it stands right now, if you're actively managing the economy, it's just incredibly tedious. Slaves work with raw materials, raid religious enemies for slaves. Very strong. Very strong. I don't know, let's pull it if people want us to change. Do we want Twitch representation? Twitch votes matter? There's 50 of you guys. Alright. There is a way to do this without changing the game rule, but we can't do it that way anymore at this point in the run. No, but notice it also, this also says slaves working with raw materials, yes, so we can employ them in the RGOs as well. I think overall it'll kind of just make the... Oh, you know what's kind of cute? This will also brick our personal union, which we kind of want to do anyways. So we actually didn't need to change our favorite son law. That's kind of cute. How does tax efficiency work? Estates will have an amount of money that they have that is taxable. They pull some back from themselves, but then you will tax them a percentage of that. And with that, you will get like a flat amount, and tax efficiency is just free money on top of that, so it's just plus 15%. So, technically, we're not actually getting... We're pulling less than 14.459 from them. It's not very well conveyed in the UI, but we're actually only pulling like 13 point something from them. Hey Joe, hope you had a good holiday. I did, thank you. I use Annex Denmark command. That'll do it. Yeah, everyone wants us to flip north. Alright, well, let's flip north. Let's take the stab hit as well. Let's not be... Yeah, we're gonna take it on the chin. Everyone's gonna be really upset with us. Alright, so... we could do one more religious aspect. I think we go pop growth. We go pop growth or the legitimacy. Or sorry, not the legitimacy, or the literacy. I think we want pop growth. God, this is so bad. Oh wait, we get more than one thing. Okay. Just kidding. The UI is bad. Got it. Fish output plus 50%. Ew. Research progress is actually... This is a little bit tempting. I think we just want pop growth though. Let's do Freya. I don't know if we get multiples. This is probably also going to be a little bit rough for us. I think we're okay with using Latin here. You can technically do project maritime through open seas, yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on chat. You get Prussia to show up as expected, but only try to win the entire game. Try Denmark, Navarra, then show up via culture converting. You have to move your capital. You have to, like, flip culture and do capital, I believe. It doesn't show you it. Apologies. Every time Scania makes a market there, yeah. They should. This is something I left actually a ton of feedback on, or I repeatedly bugged the AI guy about. I was like, the AI should be actually way more aggressive about making markets. North Indonesia with slave raids on China and India sounds sick. I know, right? Let's keep going. Let's keep it chugging. Pretty sure this is gonna break our, yeah, union. You know what sucks, though? We started this run at a time where it was not working as intended. And we don't have Deus Vault. We would have really wanted Deus Vault considering this. Womp womp. Not Ludend. Yeah, it sucks because they eat all these locations that we had in our market too. Which was giving us both demand and also amber. Can you show control map mode? It's not very good. We should build some more roads. Does Norse mess with the PU? Yeah, but we want the PU to get messed up. Like, it expand existing buildings in profitable setting? Well, where you could decide, not all buildings. Specifically, we want to be able to... Look, we want to be able to go, hey, this province has silver in it, so we want to build there for the production efficiency, so we want to designate this location, always expand specifically the Jewelers Guild. This is now a town. We have sand here, so this is actually a decent place for glass. And a tannery. if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we can now build slave markets. Let's go. Let's go. I think they make money even if they don't make slaves, which is probably an oversight. I believe that's how that works. We'll make it for the eco. Why are you building the slave center when you can't enslave your own culture? Well, it just produces fake slaves and you sell them for fake money, except the money's real. Yeah, we'll take that one on the chin for our unsavoriness and changing the game rules, let's say. If we get the disaster, we'll figure out our way through it. It's pretty rough for us. I think if we get over 50 prestige, we'll be okay, but if we don't, we won't. Yeah, or legitimacy, rather. Let's see all those empty RGOs get filled. Well, it's really nice for shuffling guys around, too. Because your pops get shuffled towards the stuff. The Union's gonna get bricked. Right? We're gonna rival them for funsies here, actually. And disaster, potential win away. Nice catching a live stream, see the magic happen. Hello, hello. I suspect the primary reason fish aren't worth more is how much Norwegian can stack fish output, plus 70%. No, it's not just that. Fish is worthless everywhere. What bonuses do Norse give? Not a lot. Basically, you can raid for slaves, and that's kind of the thing. It's part of the European folk religions. But the main idea is you can raid for slaves. I wonder if it gives tech. I actually don't know. Are we just keeping all the Catholic tech? Roman Catechism? Shout out to Norse. We don't keep any of this, do we? Vikings are back, baby. Wait, you can change to anything? You gotta change game rules to be able to do it. So we swapped religious conversions to any religion. How will you deal with the massive opinion malice? We're gonna bob and weave. I didn't say it was good. I said it was... It is what it is. Sam Demand, thank you for the follow, big nice. So many sources, research progress, it doesn't feel very good, yeah. We're just trying to diagnose here. Yeah, our tree is bricked. The UI is just incorrect. Are there Norse texts though? I don't see any in here. I venture, considering there's only 3 texts for Protestant, I would venture to assume that there are no Norse texts, but Paradox would be the type to... if there was a religion that was just going to randomly have goodies, the one associated with Scandinavia would probably be it. Can't believe Baldy hasn't conquered the world yet. No, the truth hurts. Latin, Norse, pagans. It's where all the books are written in. Latin, Norse is high culture, that's what I'm saying. The great thing here is this actually won't make slaves. Because they're all Norwegian. I've been playing EU5 on a new computer now. Very nice, Tarkus. Reached 1400 in like an hour and a half now, compared to 4 to 6 hours. Life is forever changed. I was trying to tell you that. After OPB told me. We also need locations for which to take slaves, so I guess it's fine. Just thinking what we're supposed to build here, man. Just leather. Guess we could go leather as well. Once we have the slave center, there will actually be a little bit more demand for leather. I think our promotions will be fine enough. We're probably gonna have to deal with revs semi-frequently, considering going to be mostly our religious unities. Not good. Tolerance of heathens real bad. I don't think we get Dimmy. This pagan, whatever, right? Yeah. What we need is overseas burgers. What we need is actually a little bit of a... We don't have Diplo range? No, we just don't have a diplomat. Okay, fair. We gotta get a plus 100 relations. France wins 100 years war. Womp womp. What are advantages to forming your own market? As far as I can tell, you only make money on your own trades, but I guess you would have better market access. It's better market access. I would suggest that you jump into a game as Austria, let a month pass, and then look at your tax base, and then make an market in Vienna, and then let a month pass and look at your tax base again. It's going to be roughly double. Because your lack of market access causes you to produce less goods in buildings, or get less tax base contribution in RGOs. It's the easiest way to get out of that union. I was able to go Admiralty regime and I swap it like that. That's one way. You could also just change. This is what we did. You could just change this to something else. If you have different laws than the other person, it'll generally work like that. I'm gonna put this guy in charge. I don't know why we upgraded that, that's kind of unnecessary. Why are we using the UI here? Settlement time. We see more options for area development rather than expensive education. It would be nice. It would be nice if you could maybe affect what traits they give or something like this. I'm not sure I need that level of gardening either, though. I think we're going this eventually, so let's just grab that. We get to go polygamy too, which is nice. Let's improve relations with the Ottomans. We want to get a Demi estate, so we're going to get it with them. What about expand existing buildings option? I don't like that because sometimes estates will build stupid buildings, and I don't want that to them to just expand the buildings I haven't personally selected. Started Georgia run. Am I crazy? Our subjects are cracked. The subjects are insane. Yeah. Slave NFTs, basically. We're just printing pictures of slaves. Unless they changed this, which they might have. I left feedback about it. Nope, we're just making a ton of money. Not actually enslaving anyone. There's no one eligible to be enslaved. It's fake slaves. Wait, what? Where are these guys from? Alright. Wait, when do we have... How'd that get in there? Wait, actually, when did... What? Crimean Sunni slaves? Wait, bro, did we import slaves? Why... We're not in trade range of that issue, are we? I guess we could import slaves from Foss. I mean, it's also profitable. Let's do it, I guess. I mean, this isn't supposed to make any slaves. Monthly enslavement. It can't enslave anyone. The location of the building. None of these guys are eligible. Do you think 1.0.8 is better than 1.0.7 at this time? Probably. Not entirely sure. You get a lot of slaves imported from Africa as Norway for some reason. Grows the pops fast. Well, I don't know why they just got teleported here without... It didn't seem like... Barely no time has passed and we didn't put in a route. I mean, now we have a route and so we'll get more slaves, but I wonder if it's... What's going... I think there's some funny business here. Because that's also, yeah, we shouldn't just have the slaves just like immediately like that. Maybe it's a mechanic where it just dumps like 10k slaves or a bunch of slaves into your country to just kickstart the mechanic. It's like kind of a... I don't know. Do slave markets generate population? No, they don't. They turn... Well, I mean, I guess they do. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to turn non-slaves into slaves. But the thing is there's no eligible pops here, but the slave good itself sells for a high enough price that this actually is pretty profitable for us. So, I mean, we're just gonna do it. Do we have any farmland? I don't think we do. Yeah. I think we can we force people? Well, I mean, we are, but... I was raiding for slaves work, like, you boats or you siege a province. Sieging a province works. I think we could raid with boats as well. No, I think it's just taking provinces. Not a very good religion. Like, Sunni would just be way better, but this is more memey. Will swapping Norse break the Sweden Union? Yes. You could swap between same tier tax? I believe so. Which is like... Said we weren't stacking modifiers, but now you can just do a bunch of these things. Feels bad, man. Doing that for the crown power modifier. Our crown power will go up from 25% here. Quick game file check, no Norse religion tech. Thank you, thank you. A little bit behind chat, sorry. Apologies. Wait, did they nerf the, Is it unassigning him as admiral? What's this? Did I just not click? Have I lost? Wait, why is it doing that? What? Is that a bug or is that WOD? Is that a new prevent people from crown powering during peace? That's feels kind of stupid. I think it bricks the Union because we won't have the same heir, right? Because I think the heir is contingent on him being Catholic. Now that that actually does something. Your personal union changes to Kalmar Union if you PU Nordics as Denmark. When should I switch employment type? Kind of when you have some extra stuff going on. When you have extra stat for it. Seki, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. RGO automation isn't active as beta, in the beta is 1.0.7. Feels like it never builds stuff. They probably changed the AI on it. You care about this location? Fish? I don't think so. 10 legitimacy. At what point is drilling regulars worth it? The experience decay is very quick. I don't really know the answer to this question because they made it so you could drill with like they made it so you could drill when you shouldn't be able to drill. When you had nothing raised and it just you didn't have to pay for the drilling. Now you have to pay, so I don't know. We hate paying. We hate it. We're gonna build bailiffs after this. Favorite son's good succession, you can have multiple wives? Yeah. We're planning on culture flipping some of our subjects, or sorry, religion flipping some of our subjects so we can have someone to marry. I hate when you need to flip religions in order to find a wife. Truth hurts. Or flip someone else's religion, rather. The 27 Club, thank you for follow, much appreciated. Non-colonial migration only happens within a market. That is correct. I've observed it happening between two markets exactly once, and I'm pretty sure that's a bug. I think I just saw a bug. Bugga. E-bug. Why are we breaking the PU rather than taking over it? I think we were already in charge of it. It's the Norwegian Union. But it takes forever to annex them relative to taking the dirt, because it scales... War score cost scales like with tax base and pop, and there's like not a lot of pop here, but integration scales with just the number of locations. So it takes forever to integrate Sweden. And so we would rather just fight them and take their stuff. I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of what I think. How was your Stockholm? How was going to Stockholm? Just saw your video. Going to Stockholm was nice. It was nice. I enjoyed it a lot. I got to meet all the Vic3 devs. It was a lot of fun. Or several of the Vic3 devs, not all. But just stop by to thank you for all your help. You're very welcome. Thank you. I'm not sure I've done this before. I would consider making a video on general game setup like hotkeys, maps, and similar stuff like that. I have a video for how to start a game, and I have a video for setting up hotkeys specifically. I have a hotkey video. And go on the Discord. I also have my file that I use for my hotkeys. and you can download it and put it in your folder. Sami slaves? Oh, we can create Sami slaves, that's right. There's very small. But is he creating fake slaves? Yes. But we somehow got, like, slaves from... Oh, I think you guys, like, just random places. Now we're importing slaves, though, from Foss Market. So our population should actually be coming on up kind of nice. Burgers importing? Oh, yeah, maybe burgers import. That could do it. That could do it. I feel like the burgers... I feel like 10k is not the right number, though. I think it just gave us a bunch of slaves for free. Specifically, we got a bunch of African slaves with the Nyama. Yeah, I think it just gave us a bunch of slaves for free. I wonder if it moved them or just, like, spawned them. Do you think it'd be possible to farm the Free City of Germany? I don't know. Great Video's only downside is right now feels like in 1700s on AI just spams levies and suicide coalitions, or on a live aside. Yeah, you gotta not you gotta be a little bit careful with how you manage and juggle coalitions, otherwise it becomes really tedious. So actually the next couple episodes of the Venice run are kind of like a lot of coalition juggling stuff. Are you gonna go with slave conversion law or last slave religion? I would probably allow. Conversion wouldn't be insane though. Because it's not like when you're Sunni you get when you're Sunni it's really great because you get just enormous amounts of yeah, look at this. Nyama is like it's a quarter of the pot. But when you're Sunni you get an enormous amount of tolerance of heathens. We don't have an enormous amount of tolerance of heathens, so we might actually want to convert people. We do not tolerate like that. Okay. Oh, we don't want to build in their country. But that's ours, yeah. Alright, we maybe want to swap on the polygamy? We could fail dev the, it's probably failed dev the interior here. Over increased naval infrastructure? Actually, let's do increased naval infrastructure. We gotta pass this, though. Yeah, pushing plutocracy would also just generally kind of be a pain. We mainly just want to peak. Do we want to take another peak? Pretty sure we're getting a rev either way with the nobles right now. Maybe not. The revs are so ungodly unpleasant though, so I think we won't upset them further. Let's actually do a little bit of this. I know that, honestly, right now we're supposed to just max tax because they'll still be going up 1.2 anyways. I really hate that, in theory, you're supposed to micro it like this, but we're just going to push it specifically at equilibrium with 55%. You get to watch Generalist Chad live? Yes. Or partially alive. Not feeling very well. So probably gonna have a little bit of a shorter stream, like 2 to 3 hours. This is so Jabati, the, like, UI where it wants you to just use 100 stab or whatever, just, like, brick your country. Right, we're at 84 towards naval right now. Almost have all the settlements built. I forget what settlements use in their PM. Pretty sure they have a PM. Oh, just very small amounts of some of this stuff? Yeah, that's fine. Are we growing our pops yet? You know, we probably should have tried to get a CB. We're gonna get one on Sweden, though. And we're bigger than them, and... yeah, we need the Union to end. And then we can start fighting Sweden, Scania, and eventually Denmark. It breaks admirals and, admirals, generals, and cabinet members. Wait, what does? Oh, because of the PU. Got it. That makes sense. No, you can't form tag in the same tier. Someone was saying you could earlier. Not on stream, but like elsewhere. I wonder if I actually just could micro this just every month. No, I think it's... oh, we kept him. What? Did it keep him? Hey, I got a tick with him in charge. Let's go, baby. Give me that extra crown power. You can't if you start as that tier, like a 2... form a 2? Or at least that's true with tier 1 formals. Video on successorship options would be good. I feel like I should always change it, but I never know what to. I think this one's probably the best one, favorites on. Just better stats. Been like that because release. Gotcha. Countries which aren't formals are tier 0 countries. This would explain the confusion. The fact that it doesn't show you what your country is and looks a little bit rough. Innovation wave. Very nice. I thought that this required a certain level of innovation. Innovative. Oh, I guess maybe we have it. I thought you had to be over 0.5 to roll this event. Well, now we're going to get an additional 0.2. So this is going to get us over 0.5. It's going to be very strong for us. What are we doing on institutions, though? Oh, let's go, baby. We have banking there. Hell yeah. Pro army. Hell yeah. I wish I could marry off daughters to expand my dynasty. Can though? Can you explain how to increase my food production or when I have enough to max growth? Well, the amount of food you have is not important. As long as you're like generating positive food, it's the amount of storage you have of food. And 360 months will give you 0.3% growth, I've been told. I haven't double checked this. Sorry, not 360 months, 36 months. Or maybe it's 360 months. Or 120 months. It takes a lot of months of food, is the idea, but more food storage. So you build granaries when you want to start kind of tapping into that. How much are we getting? What's the pop growth? They changed the equation though. So let's actually see. God, our pop growth sucks. Religious aspect. Wait, do we get the god? Do we get all the gods even when they're not active? No way. Yeah, we're not getting the god here. No holy sites for us. Terrible. Hockey's video is the best. I honestly thought that was the most useful video I could put out, and then like the video did it's not like it did bad, but I was just like, oh. It did not do as good as I expected it to. No one believed me that the hotkeys video would be useful. To be fair, just downloading the file I have is probably okay. Can we force... No, everyone's just disloyal. How disloyal are people? Oh god, it's because this fucking centralization, actually. Yeah, I mean, I think centralization kind of... I mean, we already have it, like, kind of locked in to some degree. We could just pay more dip. We just want to be able to flip their religion. I mean, we could dramatically increase spending very temporarily, flip their religion, and then they probably like us. That should do it. Victory devs were cool and all, but I got to meet Generalist in Stockholm, and that was the real highlight. Aw, thank you. I enjoyed meeting you too. Also, we hung out quite a bit with, oh my god, I'm blanking, Andy. And that was pretty sweet as well, the three of us. Thankfully we had a Norwegian, yeah, for that one crazy girl who was having a really bad day and threatened to end our lives. She was having a no good bad day. How well can you project control into Britain as Norway, Denmark? Pretty good. Pretty good. It's super dumb to have Roman numerals for kingdom, empire, and also mentioning tier 1 to 4 formables. I'm not sure if I gave this feedback, but I think someone commented on this inconsistency. I think it might have been me, but like... that this is confusing. Hey, Negus Luffy. Negus. Game practically stops running on the month tick when it was running fine. Our colonial nations bait, they send me no money. It's not about the money, it's about controlling goods and producing goods overseas. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message, and the message is you make a bunch of slaves in the New World, and it's really good. That is the message. I mean, I guess. Okay. I didn't notice the auto builder build that there so quickly. For sure. Let's do this actually. Are we still making just a ton of money off of the slaves? Alright, maybe, do we have flatland, grassland locations? We have a couple. This is our only flatland grassland that is... We want slaves to go to places, or we want a little bit of diversity. God, that sounds so wrong. We want to get slaves to locations, to different locations. If we only have one slave center, all the slaves will go there, and so we want to have them going to different locations. And so because of that, we're building a slave center here, and what we're trying to use as a heuristic here is we want flatland grassland. That is also preferably not in the Arctic, which leaves us with virtually no options in terms of lands that are already urbanized. We just have like these locations which aren't urbanized yet, but I think we're probably going to be urbanizing them soon here. Especially this one that's close to the market capital. Is this in... It's also in the same... It's along with some wool, and it's a fish province. God, this feels bad, though. Urbanization's also increased demand for goods. What's a decent amount of subsidized subjects once you get your eco-charging? 5 a month. I like subsidizing colonies like 8 a month. It's kind of what I was doing in the Venice run. But 5 a month's also fine. I don't know if I'd want to subsidize every subject. To be honest, like, that subsidy probably doesn't... It's probably no good, and you're probably supposed to actively manage building in your colonies, but it's actually just super painful. But the AI is really stupid about building in colonies. Unfortunately, they don't source, like, their, like, market goods very well, and they, like, can't figure things out. God, it feels so bad. I mean, we also don't have a settlement here. Yeah, I think it's just upgrade, but God, it feels so awful. Like, we just want the upgraded pops, basically. It's kind of half of what we're upgrading it for. And we are going to build a slave center, and their slave center is going to be wildly profitable. We're going to be able to send them back. My favorite bald tournament? Ayo. It's 120 months. Thank you, Connor. What's the best religion? Not Catholic. Really won't save that. We just gotta do the thing. Oh, we have the game setting where we could actually take a look at this easier. It's probably between Sunni Sanjiao and let's maybe take a closer look. It's maybe between Sunni Sanjiao and the Japanese one, Shinto. Shinto because it gives you like the best CB, Sanjiao gives you 0.5 legitimacy, which is a lot, and Sunni for like a ton of reasons. I'm actually not sure which I think it is. HSV Masters, thank you for the follow, big nice. I'll have to figure something. I'll have to figure out which one I think is actually best, but I think it's between those three. Like Nahuatl or something is really good too. There's like a couple in like the New World that are really good, but their countries suck. So like I haven't really taken as close a look as maybe I'd like. We kind of have a decent amount of stab at this point. Let's do infrastructure then most profitable because we are starting to violate that a little bit. Tarkus plug. Yeah, Tarkus did probably pretty similar to the premise we're doing here with Denmark. I don't think he started as Norway, but he did just do a Denmark video if you wanted to check it out. I saw that a little bit before I went live, or I saw that you'd uploaded it. What do we want here? Let's actually just sit on it. favorite, because I think we're pretty close to being able to get pro-armies. Kind of waiting on our ruler to die, though. Wish you could become king in the HRE? Yeah, it's kind of a little bit annoying. Norway is made too Arctic for some reason. The Paradox seems to think Norway's climate is equivalent to Siberia. You know, I feel like Paradox probably, that's not going to necessarily be something they're very likely to misevaluate. Usually the Scandinavia thing they kind of have their finger on the pulse of, I feel like. Alright. Now we're going to start building bailiffs, I think. We said we were going to start building bailiffs a while ago, but we lied. Our resource is kind of below, though, huh? And eventually it's all coastal, so eventually we get proximity to some of these locations. Yeah, this sucks, dude. I guess this marble's maybe a reasonable bailiff. It all feels bad. I think this is now cheap enough that maybe we're into it. We need 59 up front, though. What does Shinto CB give? It gives minus 75% discount on subjugating people. What's your king's name? Valdemar Bajabo. Not sure how it's pronounced. Make bailiffs give 60 proximity with +2 upkeep? No, dude. That would just invalidate control, like, so hard. No way. I would hate that. When should you build bailiffs? I usually build bailiffs in rural areas with 0 proximity, which we have a lot. If the RGO base price is 3+, like is the most oversimplified heuristic. There's going to be other reasons, but that's usually kind of how I approach it. Denmark once got invaded because the Swedish army could just walk across the strait. 60 proc source sounds like a lot, that's what I'm saying. No research. We will continue to generate progress here until it pulls up too big. And so we're letting the research idle here in hopes that we can maybe embrace an institution soon. Maybe we should actually just check if we're close. We're close to pro armies, right? So hoping for that to work for us. Yeah, this is so profitable. Much profit, much excite. And then we could export slaves too, I think. So is the import's no longer profitable, so we'll cut that out. And we're exporting slaves to Stockholm. Of course, are we actually sending pops? I guess we are sending some pops. But once we're making fake RGO slaves, we'll be able to send the fake slaves as well. Get a nice little... It's a fake slave economy here, really is what we're trying to say. We're sending slaves that don't exist to a place that can't use slaves at all. But the market has a demand for it. Slaves needed for RGOs. Is this just them having empty RGOs? Because they can't use slaves in the RGOs. Because they're Catholic. That's so funky. But these slaves we can move. The like Niama slaves or however. The Mandika slaves. Not all of them, I guess. Because they are helping to the population growing there. I never knew. Yeah. A little math rule of thumb was 7 tax base. For the bailiff, I think you could probably be a little bit more aggressive than that, but doing some type of decision of that nature is probably okay as well, yeah. See, this is the symbol that says we're at cap, so now we have to spend the research on something because we can't embrace a new institution. I think we'll grab this because we want to get down into kind of construction speed for limit. Or the direction, at least. Spam gravel road network. I mean, I guess we're gonna push centralization this game, but it feels so much worse. Contained banking, I guess. Kind of don't want to take the 12 stab hit, so. Maybe we can do one extra thing? No, we can't. Unless we took 12 stab hit. Oh, 10 centralization though. What fake slaves? We have some real ones. But this place only has no regions. So, and it also has a slave market. The slave market makes slaves in terms of the good. But since there's no enslavable pups, they don't enslave any pups. And so the way that this is working is it is producing goods without producing the pup, corresponding pup. It might be kind of working semi-properly though, because once there is a tradable, a full tradable good for it, I think what it could do is it can pull the slave from a different location, but as it stands, it's not actually making slaves here, and it's making a decent amount of profit too. So that's pretty nice. The PM for it is not insanely bad, and then we're also just exporting them. But we could also make all of these goods ourselves. So it's like stimulating an industry. And a lack of, I think it's anytime we're lacking RGOs, it's going to do that, so. I'll give you take a look here. Oh, just some of the demand is in the slave markets. It's actually a giant Ponzi scheme. We're making fakes, we're using fake slaves to make the fake slaves to create demands for fake slaves. It actually just is NFTs. We should do a tutorial video on why slaves are NFTs. But yeah, is your tax base erect yet? Not really. I mean, we're kind of cruising along, but it's a little bit... There's probably a more explosive way to open than we've done here. I mean, we're kind of into this. I think they're kind of stronger than us, though. So we have better boats. We have subjects, but they're not loyal. These hoes is not loyal. If you switch religions, does that make migration to the lands market less desirable? I don't think so. We probably should, but not to my knowledge. Okay, so we can get another CB. Wow, we actually have a stronger army than them? That's crazy. We're thinking of just getting a CB here. I think this is Lithuanian subject. We can get a CB. I guess maybe we go for this guy. It's really small and weak and breedable, so. Oh, is that our subject? Whoops. Sorry, bro, I didn't mean it like that. Nah. If we occupy them... They have a fort. I'm not sure if we could annex them if we occupy them. This is the thing. We'd love to have Lubeck, though. God, I wish I knew the answer. If we can annex them the second we occupy them, we would love this war. If we have to fight Bohemia somehow, then obviously it's completely unplayable. We might just save and check it out. Well, this says Lubeck as well. Does it? Vassal of Brema. I think we'll save. I'm not sure how this works. I think that we could just nab Lubeck kind of for free. And then that's going to be really valuable for us. But I'm not sure. And if I'm not sure, I will usually want to test, so I think we're fine to do this. Whoa, that was a war against a lot of people. Oh, it's all the Bohemian miners. Yeah, no one cares. We don't need those additional 10 men. Those independent movements should really not, like, disband automatically when you're not at war, or when you're at war. Oh, they nerfed the levies. Ability to get on ship, but I forgot about this. Good, though. To be fair, you can use naval levies, so it's not like the end of the world. You all go here, please. I don't think it matters because I think we just occupy them, but maybe it does. We just occupy and annex, and then we'll get he demands free territory. We did take slaves here, but we have the notification to not pop up anymore. I suppose you guys could just take my word for it, but yeah, so this might not be doable. I don't know exactly. We obviously can't fight Bohemia, but I don't think Bohemia can reach us. I could be mistaken. So we just need to control the war goal for an extended period of time. So we just need Bohemia to not unsiege it, but I don't know if this works. If it doesn't work, we'll just reload. Do you like hardcore? Try and play country Drutsuk, vassal Litva, and unite all the Belarusian lands. Interesting. Thank you for recommending Vigianagar. Tax base is truly insane. Buckets of ducats all day long. Yeah, Vigianagar is just... Vigianagar is like just clearly one of the strongest starts in the game. Yeah, they can't unsiege this. I guess we maybe want to try and stack wipe them. But we don't want to get stack wiped ourselves. No, this doesn't work if they can just unsiege it. Rip. Well, I mean, it works if we can just white piece Bohemia eventually. I'm not sure if that's how we want to do this, though. Yeah, those stack wipe us if we step on now. I guess we are gonna move the fleet back. First thing I hear joining the stream is this guy's weak, small, weak, and breedable. Where's the lie? No lie here. Sometimes it just do be like that. Alright. So this is what we were talking, why we idle research is so that once we do embrace. Oh, 23 stab, yikes. Alright. In theory, we should wait a little while longer until the research kind of like completely gets to the idling point, but this is fine. This is fine. Oh, hopefully... We maybe should have given Linvodia or Scootage, actually. We don't want Bohemia to just go after him. This is kind of a silly fight, though. I mean, Lubeck's actually gonna be really nice, but... like, this entire... You know what really sucks is, like, if we just get randomly stack wiped, the, like, war is gonna take so much longer. $16. So much closer to piecing out. Everyone have a good night? Have a good night, man. Any into tagged as well because it has unlimited pops? Yeah. Like, Saptogram is one of the strongest tags. You could relay save exploit. I'm not trying to exploit super hard with the reloading. I'm just trying to... Cootmaster. Thank you for the follow, big nice. I'm trying to experiment without, like, breaking myself, basically. Yeah, this might just be like, we have to white piece Bohemia at some point. Or just, like, actually beat enough navy. So our trade company is just completely broken, not usable at all. I mean, they do non-zero amount of things, but my understanding is they're just, like, completely scuffed and not worth paying attention to. We're sending out those NFTs. We're getting some some poor markets to buy our NFTs. It's interesting that almost at minus 50% price, how profitable those are. It's crazy. Do we really have... Okay, I guess we can expand this. For economies of scale. It's just there. Can anyone hire conquistadors besides Castile, Spain? I think it's all of Iberia, but I think that was kind of what you meant. Like, I think Aragon and Navarre could also do it, but I'm not 100% sure. Do you know you could take all of France as England before 1350-55? You could take all of France as England. How are we doing this? So there's a bug where one stop wiping Bohemia fishing ship levies over and over caused so much war exhaustion you could 100%. Not every location, but a good 90%. I assume this has something to do with isolating the capital. It does seem pretty, like, a lot more than I would have expected. Do you build 1 to 2 ranks of every building in most cities? No. Economies of scale. No. No. You don't want to do that. Production efficiency is really important, so you're just, like, shooting yourself in the foot on that. It's real bad. Oh man, I have to sneeze. Oh god, that hurt my back. What the hell? It's probably because I'm not feeling very well. God, this is such a silly... I think we maybe can just disband these guys. Whoa. That was awful timing. What the hell? This is probably super okay for us, though. That's not okay. That's real bad. How did they get... How'd you get a navy, bro? Bro, really? I thought this was supposed to be fixed in 1.0.8. I did not deck this war thinking that they would actually have a navy. That kind of sucks. God damn it. We even had a galley in there. It wasn't just a... Yeah, we had a galley in there. I mean... This isn't... oh, these are... That's not good. They have, that looks like mercenaries. Not like this. No. This might be a reload. Mainly because Bohemia just actually has a navy. It's probably winnable, but... Oh, we forgot to balance our army. It's not like this. Guess we just build a cog. How much can a cog hold? $250. We need several cogs. And I do think they fixed the navies, you just being able to re-raise endless navies, so actually we're like super cucked. Let's do some of that. You can piece out each vassal separately. They can't enter Scutage land, and it'll kill all their troops landing on England. Yeah, that checks. Do you ever start deleting buildings to consolidate them in one location and economies of scale? Yeah, sometimes. Do they walk? No, they have boats. Allegedly. Really? Levies get bricked by snow? Winter? Raising levies? Alright, these guys can hold 200. The mailed knights are going to take 500 apiece. We only have 12 total mailed knights, though. It's not like we can siege a place with that. God, we actually... We can't transport our infantry, categorically. They take 1,000. We have 1 levy. And 1 cog, and it's not enough, so I guess we just build more cogs? Do we have fishing villages? We could build fishing villages and subsidize them. Feels pretty bad. How bad is it, though? Control's gonna be so low there, though. Is the music off on purpose? The music's on. I do have a little bit of a headache, though. So we're not necessarily pumping it. Are they landing in Estonia? Merc up. Oh my god. They did land over there. That's what you guys were asking about. Shoot. Can we walk there? We actually just can't move our army across. Oh, this is so silly. We might reload here. I didn't realize that Bohemia had a random... had the ability... To be fair, they had the ability to walk across here. I thought we could just snake in and take it. I mean, we still might be able to if we had boats, but we don't have boats to just go across and take Lubeck. I also think we don't, like, win this, like, thing. Well, their army's small. Breedable. So, the thing is, Livonian Order, we can't bail out the Livonian Order. There's not a way for us to do this. Merc up. Oh, Merc Navy. I always forget you can hire Merc Navy. We don't need a lot. So expensive, though. I don't know. I guess we could try and finish this war, but this is not exactly what we were expecting. Yeah, the new levy thing is like, we should have been a little bit more careful, or I should have been a little bit more careful. Why can't Austria become a colonial nation? Tried it, Australia can't, but Madagascar can become a colonial nation. Oh, that's kind of weird. You can't... Oh, are you playing Majapahit? This is a somewhat recent change. Livonian Order doesn't have enough troops to deal with this? Or they just don't want to use their troops? There's a somewhat recent change that made it, so you can't put colonies in adjacent, subcontinents. So, like, North Africa can't do stuff with Middle East or Western Europe, and I assume Eastern Europe, but I'm actually not sure. And if you're playing in Indonesia, Australia is probably adjacent to you, and that's why I was giving him like 300 ducats to abandon their allies. We could try that. That does not move the needle, they don't care. Or we would have had to have done it forever ago. That's kind of silly. I don't know, I'm leaning towards reloading here. Because we did mention before, we mentioned before the war that we kind of just wanted to see if this was doable. I mean, it still seems doable if we just executed better. Maybe we should just take it on the chin. What does the AI suggest? Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of war score on us, so it would have been better to... The AI wants us to give up Livonian Order. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to give up our subject like that. Transporting via ships still broken. Would send, like, the ships that would send, like, 300 troops, then 10k, so random. Oh, I just do it manually because it's, like, kind of, yeah, a little bit scuffed. The issue with us here, though, is we have nowhere near enough boats to send even a single unit, so we can't do anything. Which is kind of annoying. Like, this unit can't board because it has 1,000 weight. Which is a change that they made, which I think is kind of okay, but, like... it means that we need to have professional soldiers, basically. Or more boats. But we also punted, or I punted the navies. I think I'm just gonna reload. How far back is this? Could load to like an earlier spot and try and win the war, but I don't think we want to just repeatedly choose the war. I just wanted to see if it was like feasible. I think it's probably feasible, but like complicated. And we maybe just get a little bit of a bigger army before we do it. Wow, has it really been 3 years? What the hell? Bohemia dude always sticking their nose in conflicts. Well, I mean, it's because they're the HRE and we attacked Free City. I think that's fine. I don't have a problem with Bohemia defending them. I just kind of have a problem with Bohemia randomly having boats. Because it was very straightforward when Bohemia didn't have boats. To be fair, once we get more boats, we'll be fine. But, yeah, our position here was... We have, extra parliament support. Want to take a break and read some Hegel? No. But this might be a good time to stop. I don't feel very good. I have a monstrous headache, so... Hey, Hegel, want to take a break and read some Generalists? Now we call that's called synthesis or negation, not like this. In theory, we really would love to take Lubeck, though. That would be worth a lot to us. I even think we could get a decent amount of control there, just like kind of with... Or once we actually have maritime presence, we wouldn't have it for a while. Bohemia. Bohemia, yeah, indeed. Little did we know Bohemia had done this. This is how they got us. Is this one also on the coast? I can't tell if this is coastal or... I think it's coastal? Yeah. Oh, they acquired that after we declared the war. Was it really just this? This is how they got us with the boat. They said, get cat. I don't know how he got enough boats out of here to move a single unit. Oh, you guess he moved mercenaries or professional. God, so silly. How did he crush our fleet, though, with his? We had a galley, bro. Wait, there's no shot Bohemia has a galley with this. Oh, did he merc up? He merced up Navy. Bohemia's so rich, he just merced up a Navy and an army and then sent them both. That tracks. I don't think I paid close enough attention to the AI ever to notice that they're merking up on the water, but it makes sense. You got the bug where I got +1 reform tech and H2 doesn't work? Womp womp. Money superpower? Yeah, I mean, AI Bohemia is, like, super good. They generally, like, kind of punch above their weight here. Let's check the category. Ooh, someone's doing Portugal colonization. Let's double check that they're in English, though. I think we're gonna raid. Looks like it's in English. They got a few viewers. Alright, let's ship you guys over that way. To Dark Young, I suppose. And then we will also link it to the YouTubers who want to... I wonder if any YouTubers actually do join the Twitch viewers. We always link it, but I don't know if anyone actually ever does it. I'll just answer a couple questions real quick, and then we'll be off to take an Advil and, like, drink some water and take a nap, maybe. Cool to catch you live? Yep. Welcome. Or, nice having you, rather. Bohemia doesn't mess around, no. One galley could be beaten up if there was enough enemy transports. I think it was Mercs. I don't think he had way more guys than us. I think he had, like, 2 galleys or something. I don't remember exactly. I could check the VOD, though. But we will say adieu to the Twitch viewers. Godspeed. Can he not walk to your cap? No, he can't. He can't walk here either unless he gets military access through Lithuania and Poland, which I don't think he had. Maybe he did. There's an access map mode where we're not using it. Anyways, let us say goodbye to the YouTubers. Bye-bye, YouTubers. And goodbye to the Twitchers. See ya.